You're watching BlackTree on TV, only on Soul of the South.
Welcome back to BlackTree on TV. I'm your host, Alex Hudgens, and we are your #1 source for urban entertainment. Now, I hope you guys are having fun because I know I am. Speaking of fun, it seems James Franco is always up to something. But he really is a good actor, and he killed it in Rise of the Planet of the Apes back in 2011.
Right when you got the script and you read what type of role you were given, what were you thinking? What were your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts were, well, before I read the script, I thought, another Planet of the Apes movie. I'm not sure if there's anywhere new to go with those movies. I mean, I liked the originals, but they really, exhausted a lot of the possibilities. But then I realized that this movie had a completely new take, that they were going to not only create the apes in a much more realistic way through computer, generated graphics, but that the whole storyline was much more grounded. It takes place in the world that we recognize, and in the way that the apes become more intelligent is done in a fairly plausible way. So it doesn't take huge leaps of the imagination to kind of buy into this story. So I thought that was great. I thought it was a fresh take. But in addition to that, I thought the actual acting experience will be completely new. And maybe 10 years ago, I'd think, oh, all this CG work, I would want to run away from that. But technology has advanced so far that it actually enables me to act opposite Andy Serkis, who plays Caesar, the chimpanzee, in scenes as if he were, just like I was used to doing in acting class, just opposite another actor.
Thanks, Francesca. Now, when you hear the term film critic, one name instantly comes to mind: Roger Ebert. The Pulitzer Prize-winning film critic set the gold standard for film criticism and became one of the most recognizable critics ever, and without a doubt, the most famous thumb on the planet. Perhaps lost in his long list of accomplishments was the way Roger Ebert went to bat for black cinema. Our guy Jamal Finkley sat down with the late Ebert's wife and director of a new documentary about the film critic's life.
He would hold what was called cinema interruptus.
On Monday of World Affairs Week, Roger would show a film. Tuesday through Friday, he would conduct a shot-by-shot discussion of the film.
To listen to Roger talk for upwards of 5 hours about In Cold Blood or The Third Man or Vertigo or Citizen Kane, he was enlightening with every new frame. It was a theatrical experience of the highest order.
Shaz was probably more life-altering for him than his TV show. She really, really liked him for what he was and not who he was.
Roger was a brilliant political writer. He was also a brilliant writer about race and politics and a lot of things. And a thing that people, it's really perceptive that that he wrote all of this stuff beforehand. People think that he started writing about politics or race or anything else only after he lost his ability to speak. That's not true. If you look back in his history, he always did it. He always had that interest. And I was glad that he didn't give up writing about that when he had such a great career as a movie critic. It was important to me. That's one of the ways that he and I bonded through his writing about movies, but also about all this other stuff. So.
And I also want to say that, like, even on the show, he and Gene, but especially Roger, would imbue the discussion with the larger world. When they're talking about a film, when they talked about Hoop Dreams, for example, Roger talked about the portrayal of African American families in media, and how, in this film we were trying to show a very different and more real view of what it's like to live in that community and be in a family. And he was always in touch with that when he wrote about films.
Thanks, Jamal. Really, really interesting stuff, and I gotta give that interview 2 thumbs up. Up next, we talk to the people who brought the new Disney animated feature Planes, Fire and Rescue to life. It's coming up in just a bit on BlackTree on TV, your #1 source for urban entertainment.
You're watching BlackTree on TV, only on Soul of the South.